You're listening to the Craft Messages That Matter podcast. I'm your host, Theo Capodistrius. Grab a coffee, sit back, and enjoy today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Craft Messages That Matter podcast. My name is Theo Capodistrius, and I'm pumped that you are listening once again to this little podcast. As always, it means so much if you could please follow the show, like the show, give it 5 stars, and tell your friends all about it. Share an episode that you've enjoyed, maybe share it on your social media, and of course, follow the podcast on Instagram, CMTM_podcast. Also, thank you for your patience while I figured out my technological situation last week. There wasn't an episode. I promised a weekly episode, but unfortunately, I had a little problem with technology. That happens. Please forgive me, and I'm really excited to bring you the episode I intended to bring you last week. We're going to talk about whether using PowerPoint is good or bad for presentations. PowerPoint has become a prevalent tool in the world of presentations, but opinions on its effectiveness can vary. So let's explore both sides of the argument and gain a deeper understanding about how good our use of PowerPoint can be, or maybe it's detrimental. PowerPoint can greatly enhance a presentation. It provides visuals, it allows presenters to create appealing slides that support their message. Images, charts, graphs can really make complex information more easily understandable and memorable. And that's really important for your audience because you don't want to stand there and just talk at them without it actually meaning something. As you know, this podcast is called Craft Messages That Matter, and that's what we aim to do. PowerPoint also offers organizational structure, helping presenters to create clear outlines and guide their audience through the content. So that's only going to be a good thing, right? PowerPoint provides tools for engagement as well, allowing presenters to incorporate animation, transition, and multimedia elements to keep the audience interested. But I will add, use sparingly, because you don't want slide transitions for everything, because maybe it'll make people feel sick and it's a little outdated. So use sparingly, but they can help to enhance what you're doing. PowerPoint also offers a great deal of flexibility and adaptability, allowing customization to suit different types of presentation styles and contexts, so it can be pretty helpful. While it does have its advantages though, its overuse or an ineffective use can hinder effective communication. Poorly designed slides with excessive text or really distracting visuals can overwhelm and confuse an audience. I mean, we've all been in academic or maybe those corporate presentations where everything's on the slide and you didn't actually need to be there to listen to the presentation because you could have actually just read it. PowerPoint can also create a passive learning experience as an audience may simply just read what's there rather than engaging with the presenter. Just like those science lectures we probably went to back in the day, we weren't going to listen and learn anything. We're just going to read because it's all there, because the presenter decided that they wouldn't actually memorize anything. They would just read directly from the slide. How annoying. Of course, the dependence on technology can pose a bit of a risk where a technical glitch happens or there's a compatibility issue and it can disrupt the flow of the presentation. And I know all about technical glitches because, well, look, this podcast was delayed because of it. So what are some scenarios or presentation types where PowerPoint may be particularly beneficial or possibly even detrimental? In scenarios where data visualization is key, such as a scientific or a business presentation, PowerPoint can be really useful. So if you want us to show progress, if you want to show, data collection or like a pie graph, that sort of thing can be really useful using PowerPoint because it allows you to speak on the topic and show the graph and the figures and what it looks like visually. It allows you to present really complex information in a visually appealing way. In larger presentations or conferences with limited time, PowerPoint can help presenters structure their content and convey information effectively. On the other hand, in a more intimate or interactive setting, a workshop or a group discussion, PowerPoint can hinder the audience engagement a little bit and hinder the flow of the conversation. Really, for those, you'd limit the number of slides you'd use, and you'd probably only do like one word or pictures and allow conversation to flow, rather than relying on a rigid slide deck to dictate the conversation. Those are really valid points, obviously, from both sides, but it's important to consider the context and the objective of a presentation when deciding whether to use PowerPoint or not. Ultimately, I think PowerPoint is really awesome. It's just about how well we use it. So, as long as it's not death by PowerPoint and we're putting people into a coma by listening to us talk, PowerPoint can be used really well. If we use very few words, images, and using it as a way to enhance what we're saying is going to have a really good impact for you as a speaker, as a presenter, particularly if you understand who you're talking to and what information will help them. As we've spoken about before, when we look at people that are left-brained and right-brained, we can use the PowerPoint presentation to really enhance that experience for everyone in the audience, whether it's factual information and then visuals. So really, we can use it well, and I would encourage you to use it in the best way possible. And if you like this episode, please follow or subscribe and give it a rating. Give it a 5 out of 5. We love that, particularly as I'm in the early stages of the pod. To learn more about what I do as a speaker, a trainer, an MC, and a public speaking, communications and presentation coach, head to my website, www.theocap.com.au. Follow the Craft Messages That Matter Instagram page at CMTM_podcast. And of course, follow my personal Instagram page at TheoCap88.